we were both looking for a breakthrough, and the whole mastermind group was. And we chose a mentor who was resonating with our frequency at that point. So this is really important that we follow the calling. For me, it was a huge leap. I was looking for a translation of a download. I was looking for what my next thing is. I knew I needed to get out of just doing energy courses and help people more targeted, which has turned into helping people with prosperity energy.
Welcome to Jelly's Light and Wealth, the space where conscious souls and entrepreneurs come to unlock their intuition, elevate their income, and reclaim their time. I am Jelly Rosella, Master Intuitive and Prosperity Coach, guiding you to double your income and halve your working hours using the power of mindset, energy, and communication strategy while taking your life joy to the next level. So don't wait. Your transformation may be just one message away. And now let's dive into today's wisdom.
Yeah, here you are. Hello, welcome. I was just introducing our live, the desire we had to connect and to share something about we named this live the way to breakthrough. So we are going to share something we know is so useful and powerful to get to another level in life and business. So maybe I give you the time and space to introduce yourself, and then we can start.
Okay, perfect. So you guys, if you are new to me, I'm Jelly. I'm clairvoyant. I'm a prosperity and energy mentor, and I help people to break through to the next level of their being. I'm obsessed with that. I'm obsessed with you realizing that your dream life can be your reality, because I have lived it. I have come from anxieties, being an abandoned emotional child, having built 3 businesses, but really struggling until the 3rd one to actually not work a million hours a day, a million hours a week, and just working my ass off all the time. And I have always looked for upgrades, how to do things easier, how to make them more impactful. And with that, I have realized I have loads to give to the world, because I have managed that. I have managed it with now over 1,000 clients. And so here I am, the breakthrough queen right now. And Rossella to me is this powerful leader who, with her heart energy, manages to show people what prosperity can be in the 5D world, joining with the 3D world. You're tangible with a more dimensional ease. So that's why we connected here. Rossella, did I say it right?
Yeah, you said it perfectly. Yeah. And I also changed my life because I quit my corporate job after 20 years, and then I launched my business and I expanded, in such extraordinary way. So I embodied, as you are, embodying the kind of experience I want my clients to be living, So, but maybe we can share something about how we decided to launch this live, basically how we met.
Yes,
because it's less than 1 year ago. It was February, so it's 11 months ago.
Yes.
We were in a beautiful island sharing powerful environment and experience about really sharing a mastermind environment. And we basically wanted to embody more, I suppose our desire was, and that was the moment when we connected. And we will be talking about also how environments, how much they are, I would say, significant in our path. Because when we can meet and we allow ourselves to meet somebody who has already achieved what we want to get to, then of course we can go to the next level. So that was the moment when we met. And tell me if you want to add something, or if you I don't know.
Yeah, I guess the important thing about how we met was that we were both looking for a breakthrough, and the whole mastermind group was. And we chose a mentor who was resonating with our frequency at that point. So it is really important that we follow the calling. For me, it was a huge leap. I was looking for a translation of a download. I was looking for what my next thing is. I knew I needed to get out of just doing energy courses and help people more targeted, which has turned into helping people with prosperity energy. And then I realized that when you work with prosperity in the way that's most expanding, you're opening up to love as well, romantic love and relationship love, because it is opening up the receiving energy from a very easy place rather than like, oh, where is it, where the heck is it. So that was my why I entered that kind of breakthrough work where we met. And it was a huge leap from me from the perspective of following the mentor. I hadn't had a mentor so close in a few years. My ego was like, I don't need anyone right now, I'm good. Yeah. And also, it was a huge investment for me. That year, I invested in myself $40,000. So that was something I could never imagine I would invest in myself. And when I was about to make the payment, and I didn't have all the money, I was like, I'm not sure I can do this, right? It's just crazy that, I want to do this. But then because I had learned to listen to my intuition, work my intuition, and it's one of the main things I give to my clients, when I kind of quieted down the fears, the screaming in me like, this is crazy, and it's just that many days, and it's, this much money, and, you don't know this lady really, and who the heck is going to be there? So when I quieted all that down, I couldn't see any other way. I couldn't see any other way than stepping into this space. And definitely the connection with Rosella is one of the biggest things I got out of there. I felt like, she was a huge bonus to the time there. We spent a few meals together, a few coffees together, and it felt like I got my little mastermind there with her.
Yeah, and you already shared something so important for breakthrough. I mean, having the courage of following our intuitions and living, experiencing, crossing the fear that is requested. I mean, I went into the space of being so scared of the kind of investments I was, going to make, and it was every time so powerful just to choose, allow myself, and then go beyond. And I can see it happens every time a client just makes the decision of joining a container. Just, before we start to work together, something happens. I think you can relate to it, in terms of, So this is something so crucial in the way to break through, because if you stop yourself, before taking that scary action, then you're just choosing not to go beyond, not to expand, not to go to the next level. So this is something. So then of course we can invite who is now listening and watching us to talk with us. I mean, to write down, to comment, to join the conversation. And so what was the most powerful, or what is the most powerful, I would say, tool or thing you consider in order to find that way to break through? What is the thing that you consider the most important?
Well, I would say it's one thing. I would say it's probably a combination of a trifecta at least. And that's where having a guide is really important, because even if I'm clairvoyant, and by the way, you guys, everybody can be clairvoyant, just deep intuition. We just don't train it enough. Even if and clairvoyance just makes you see the big picture, right? So even if I allow myself to see the big picture from where you stand as an individual in a human body that thinks it has limitations, you go not letting yourself see everything that's possible for you. That's kind of, the human programming, this ancient programming that actually we don't need anymore. It's back from the cave times that we were afraid to run out of the cave, that it would be a tiger or bear, depending on, if it was Italian cave or Mexican cave. And so from this perspective, having a guide to see the big picture of what's possible for you is really important, because they help you, whether it's clairvoyantly or not, translate what the huge dream actually can look like. So I would say that's the first thing. Allow yourself to really dream big, really go, okay, so if there were no fears, if there were no limitations of money, my energy, I don't know, like my family, someone like, what are people going to say kind of logic, what would be the big picture for me? And when I allowed myself, that first I did with my business, funnily enough, or maybe it's natural for people who were emotionally deprived in the first years, decades of their life. At first I was focusing on my business, because I've always managed to build businesses. I have been a businesswoman since I was 18. You guys, even before, it was illegal actually, but the real company, the official company, I found it when I was 18. So I knew how to do that. I knew how to go there. And I thought, what would it look like? What kind of people am I serving? How much money am I making? What do my days look like if I get out of the idea that to be successful and to be working hard, I need to be giving my everything? Because that's what I was doing. I was some days working 12 hours a day. When I was starting, I would be seeing up to 8 clients a day. Okay, it was in my 20s, but still, I know, right? And I was so proud of myself. I was like, I had clients in different parts of the city, and I would be transferring. I was like, oh, I'm so good. I've seen so many people, made so much money. And I never realized until I started doing this work that it doesn't have to be done this way. And it was through the guides and, the last mentorship, I realized, wow, okay, I actually think for me it's 5 hours a day, not more, that I'm working. It's not all the 5 days a week. And there's definitely 2 days off when I'm completely plugging off, maybe more. So things like this, I'm going from, okay, well, I want to be making $10,000 a month to, oh my God, I can actually be making 40. Like that's, and I wouldn't allow myself to do that. And then in my love life, it had been really similar, because I would be following my mom's programs of like, men aren't enough, they're always, a man doesn't know what you want. And you can either have a very sexy man and maybe the sex will be amazing, but the relationship won't be so good. Or you will have a really good relationship, but the sex will suck, or really soon. I know, right? And then I thought, how about I redesign this? How I've been designing my whole life and the design of my life of my clients. How about we go further? How about we go to the utter what
Yeah.
it could
be? What if I allowed myself to have everything?
Yeah, exactly.
Receive everything.
Receive everything. And the same it was with the retreat in Mexico I'm doing now. Because when I was first plugging into what service I want to give next, I knew it was some kind of like in-person mastermind retreat thing. But then I was blocking myself with the location. And, I do have wonderful connection to Greece, to Italy, to Spain. I was looking for a place in Sardinia. And then I thought, what is really calling me? If I go taking away the limitations of time, like this is too far, maybe I don't get the people there. What is the place that really calls me? And I ended up on the western coast of Mexico, which, for us Europeans is further than the eastern coast. I'm taking 3 planes to get there. I do have people coming from Europe doing the same actually. And, the investment is not little either, even though it's less than it would be in the US. So then when I plugged myself into that, and it's still super expansive, fearful to an extent, but I know that's what I need to follow, the big thing where I'm not afraid of the limitations. So that's the first thing for sure, but you often need a guide for that. To be able to tell you, it's okay, you can do it, at least at the beginning.
Yeah, Yeah, because if you don't believe it and you don't allow yourself to dream big, then of course you're not going make it. I mean, of course you're going to just allow your mind to limit your life. And I can share something about me because 20 years in a corporate job is quite far from the kind of life I'm living now. But it was just in one moment feeling that I was here for something more and just making the decision, just choosing that time, okay, this
That's it.
is the end of my old life. And talking about, yeah, dreaming big, what really enables, talking about retreats, a great expansion is having the chance of really having powerful conversations with people and having that connections that allows, I would say, I don't know how to call it, but energy transfers.
Oh, I
I mean,
like that.
through the bodies. Yeah, because it's also like, I mean, I got that kind of code and I realized that that was why I also I'm going to host something in 2025, still don't know when. But so yours is the first one. But it's so crucial to join these kind of environments. So I would invite anyone who is listening to us, who is willing to go to the next level, to feel free to cross that fear and to join your retreat, to be allow themselves to feel that kind of energy. In my experience, the first time I met the mentor we shared last year, it was really my life-changing meeting, because when I saw her, I realized that it was powerful because I saw her and I realized that I was at the same level in terms of energy. So, but she was already making millions. So I said, okay, Rosella, it's just a matter of steps, you know?
Yeah.
And it can be so powerful. I mean, for you as well, it can be the same way, the same thing.
Yeah, it was the same. And it's really important because we teach this in the energy world, but then the energy world doesn't often merge enough with the 3D action step taking world, right? So we teach you that we are equals, even though I may have the tools already to understand our energy substance and both how to use it in the body and beyond. Actually, I'm the same as you are. I just got the recipe and the knowledge a little before you. And this was the 3D translation to that, because yeah, exactly, when I connected with her, I was like, I do the same thing as she does. I just, she took some steps ahead of me. And I was like, oh wow, I love this. And she did have the same kind of like, yeah, high energy human body vibe. So I was like, oh wow, okay, yeah, this is me.
Yeah, but it's so powerful. I mean, it can be powerful in several ways because you can join a place where you can find people, of course, ahead in terms of not only business results, but also in terms of frequencies, energy and experience, wisdom, and you can learn from them. Or you can meet someone who has achieved something you have still not, and then just feel that you are ready to receive and to be more. And it's powerful anyway. I mean, but it's necessary. I feel, and this year I feel it so much, that online needs to be integrated, implemented by in-presence works.
Yeah, I'm actually feeling the same, and I wasn't for a long time. After like COVID for me was a huge, wow, this is great. Now I can do my stuff online, and then I was like really cool with it. Like 95% of my clients now are online, and then I realized, oh my God, like there definitely is something in person that can create a quantum leap way quicker, and I know I can do that because just when people are in my presence, and this will sound, like. I'm boosting my own horn too much, but when I'm just with people in a restaurant, with service, like their face is lit up. There's something about my energy that I can help people. Now, when they would do work online with me, they do get breakthroughs. But I'd imagine being with me for 7 days in person, right? And I realized that with Rossella too, because I was with her just a few hours, and that's when I realized, oh my God, like some of the people who are ready, their energy is so powerful that if you're with them for like 2 hours, you're like, wow, okay, I know how to change my life now.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah. And of course, if you do have questions, please,
Pop them.
feel free to, to ask.
Pop them in the chat.
Yeah. So, the beginning you said, okay, first thing is just allowing yourself to dream big. Then what's next?
So next is the thing where you may need a guide even more, unless you already have the tools. And I keep plugging back into my old tools and into my old notes and stuff. It's calming down the human part that is happening. Because what the human part starts doing, your human ego mind, that is the fearful part that creates all the narrative of like, where is it? And how do we do this? And is the money coming in? And is the person coming in? And am I taking the right steps? So for this, you do need an inner world nurturing system that goes calming down this mind, telling it it's okay, we're on the way. And you keep plugging back into the vision as if it's already done, as if you're already living it, and you are just building the momentum. You are just telling your human body or making it aware, look, we are building up some energy here, even though it may be hard. Like, in a business, you may not know where the next bill is coming from. You may not know if the next event you have created is really going to work out. You may not know if this client is going to pay the rest of the amount, if they pay, in more amounts. And this system of you calming down every day, kind of checking in with yourself, is what keeps you on the path and what keeps you happy in everyday life. Like this, me building the retreat, it's been a huge expansion for me. And I won't lie, there have been some days when I'm like, I'm not sure I can do this. I'm not sure I'll get there. I'm not sure I'll get the people there. I'm not sure I can hold the space for the people. But because I have the tools and because I have created an environment where I can share as well, that's another thing, like I have become very vulnerable sharing with my friends, sharing with my partner, with my family, and offloading it, not in a way that I'm telling them like, I don't really know what is the end of me. No, I go really sharing like, I don't know what's, how it's going to work out.
Yeah.
The moment I'm getting it out, along with the meditations and switching back into the mindset, we are on the way. That's what integrates it. I can keep going and expanding. And with that, like more clients are coming in, seeing me for the expansive person I am. So that is the second part. So having the vision and having a system that calms down the expanding you. Because it's almost like, I like making this metaphor to gym. It's almost like you're building a really huge muscle and the muscle is hurting like hell. And you don't even know how to nourish it, what else to eat, because you're hungry all the time. You don't know if you can sleep through the night well, because it's recovering so much at night that you are like, oh my God, I don't know what side to lie on anymore. This will never end. But you need to know that there is the right nourishment, that this is just a period until the muscle has got used to growing and then it stabilizes.
Yeah, and it's basically a training for your trust. I mean, it's once you have the vision, once you have the dream, once you know what you really want to, what you really desire, then that, the system, the nourishment you were describing is like what is necessary to keep on trusting your vision, to keep on being on the path you chose, basically. And of course, there's a divine time needed to make it happen. That's how we we turn ourselves from creatures into creators in this life. So once you connect and stay, keep on trusting, basically, of course, you develop your inner muscles, your inner strength. Yeah, I like to use that metaphor because it gives, I think, the idea of, okay, you go to the gym and you train your muscles, in terms of flesh, but what about training yourself to really trusting your vision and your bigger dreams? Yeah. So this is, and of course, that part of being in presence is. I was in Peru. I joined last year. I joined several in-person retreats, and I was in Peru in December. And during that retreat, I received this powerful information about in-person events, and I really saw how much our body can just being by someone, by his side, can be so powerful with no words needed, nothing. Then consider this with the additional work. It can be so, amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Well, and I don't like it. I'm not sure how about you, because when I realized why always I was feeling energy and working with intuition, I realized that we are energy beings in bodies, and we have taken this experience in a body for a reason. But at the same time, when I knew that, I was resisting it, because the body, compared to the expansive energy being that we are, that's 95% more than what we see here, is really limited. So once you realize, and maybe even before you realize it, we go resisting it. We go like, I don't want to be in the body, so I will not sleep so much, because whatever, like the body can go and fuck itself. I may not feed the body well, right? I may not, I don't know what, take care of the body so well. And then I had to kind of realize that, okay, well, the body is a tool, and we chose it for a reason, and it can actually work even for the energy transmission. And that's really like what romance is to a great extent. We go merging the energy waves with a person in the most closest human way we can, and then it can have a huge soul impact, whether it is shorter or longer interaction. If we are aware of that, there's something powerful happening even on the unconscious level. And that's why being close to someone that's a higher vibration, or the same vibration as you are, is so powerful. And as you say, like, we don't really need to do much. Okay. And us talking is just explaining it to the human part that is so small.
Yeah. And I like to call our body our sacred vessel, because it's so, it's the best, way we can show up, the best way we have to live this life. I mean, and it's through the body that we can really be that bridge between sky and earth.
Yeah. We can enable to people really to see the preciousness of being here in the body. And through that, if it's taken right, we can create a new dimension bridge, right? But there needs to be really present. We need to be present to it.
Yeah.
So that's the second thing. And the third thing is taking the action there. So that's often what people don't realize. So either, it's becoming, more people are becoming aware of this fact, but originally, and it's still about 80-90% of people, they either go acting from the perspective that if I do more will happen, and they don't connect to the intuition, they don't connect to the big vision, they don't connect to the guidance. So they're just keeping busy, they're just doing things that may be energy demanding, mind demanding, but they are not really taking them anywhere further, they're just making them more tired. Or they have plugged into their intuition, they've meditated a hell out of themselves, and they're so calm, they don't take any action.
Yeah, and that's, it basically happens when you are too close to the sky, too much in the upper world in terms of intuition of being, you take care of your frequencies, you meditate, you just are in that kind of environment, and then you are not that bridge, that bridge between earth, sky and earth. So you are not so close to the earth, or in the opposite way, you're just taking action. So earth, 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 and no sky, and that's
and that doesn't let you reach the sky, of course.
yeah. So yeah, and of course, I would like to share that the central way, the way that can alchemize earth and sky, that can, merge masculine and feminine, that can really integrate actions and meditations is our heart. This is something I can really highlight, because but when we talk about our heart, it can be misleading, because when we talk about heart energy, we can think about something, so soft, tender, but our heart energy is so powerful. Being in our heart energy means having the courage of taking that scary action. Being in our heart requires you to speak the truth, to align to your truth, to go beyond, to take that step. It's something that is so beyond that softness of tenderness. It's something I want to highlight this, because most of the time when we talk about heart, we don't really understand what our heart energy means, in terms of also how it can really shift your life and your business as well.
Yeah. Do you want me to elaborate on it metaphysically? Because, like, as you're saying, I'm like clairvoyantly looking at the heart chakra. Yeah. So the heart on the physical level, its energy, it goes regulating the body, both from the back heart and the front heart. So when we have some more difficult body ailments, because I'm a master healer as well, so I'll be working with that as well. We go working with the back heart. Now that means the heart is nothing but tender only energy. It definitely is connecting to everything energy. And then on the energy level of us connecting to the big dimensions where we already have been, but we don't realize they're accessible for us communicating with the others, it's like a portal. So the way I see, like, once people are able to step into their heart center, the limitations go away. We go not living the traumas from this life, because people go often saying, oh my God, but I can't really be vulnerable in this relationship or with this client because people have done this, and that to me. I cannot make this investment because this person and that person had debts in my life. Or I cannot use a credit card because, people have debts in my life. All of that is built up in your heart that you actually haven't removed. It's almost saying, like, oh my God, this human body is so fragile that I need to protect its powerhouse at all costs, even if it means no growth. So then once you go realizing, okay, how about I forget all that? I give the heart all the healing it needs. So then it becomes like a powerhouse of light emitting. And the way I see it, it's like a golden emitter going through your heart, and then it has a huge reach to the people around you without you feeling not protected, because the reason why we don't open up is to feel protected. But once you sit into the place like, I'm protected no matter what, then you can emit without having to be giving energy you don't want, and you reach really far.
It's so useful, so precious. Thank you. And I can add something about that can translate this vision into tangible experience that is mine. Because what happened when I trained myself to go into that scary space of surfing the unknown, surfing the void, taking that action, and I expanded, the more I did it, the more I opened up, the more I allowed myself to be vulnerable, the stronger I was becoming, I became. And that was the moment when, in addition to that extraordinary expansion in business, of course, I met a man. And of course, I lived and I surrendered and I trusted a stranger, basically, on a level that it was because of my strength, my heart, openness, thanks to this that you have already just explained. I mean, that process. So training that inner muscles is so powerful to allow you to go beyond, not only in business, I mean, in every single area of your life. That is but of course you have to cross that fear of investing. Energy, money, everything.
Yeah, time, totally. And being afraid, because the other thing people are afraid of is when they live in the, maybe it isn't for me. Maybe I'm not meant for the bigger thing, because my mom didn't do it, my sister didn't do it. No one in my family, my God, none of my friends have done something like that I'm dreaming of. It's just the people on TV and maybe some people on Instagram. So yeah, it's definitely trusting yourself.
Yeah, that you're here for more. You know that you're meant for more. And that inner truth just, resonates when someone shares things like this. So,
I love that. So yeah, if you're listening to us, it means you're meant for more. And you want to step into more, and maybe you're living already more and there is more. Because the funny thing is, and that's where the tools are really important, once you step into the growth path, you keep growing. You keep going bigger and bigger. For me, it's incredible how my relationships can actually keep growing, even though they were already amazing once I opened my heart and took away the fear. And the same is with my clients and the money flowing in. It's just like the invoices I'm issuing right now. I'm like, oh my God, like when I learned about my teacher charging $400 a session, I was like, wow, is this something I could be charging? And now my bills are way bigger than that I'm issuing. And that me, like from 7 years ago, would be like, really? This is happening? And in a way, it's happening with so much ease. So yeah, you will keep growing once you get there. And that's why the calming tools, because the human part will keep freaking out. It will keep going like, really? Are we really doing this? Are you sure? Because this is not really what other people do.
Yeah, and how a human side needs to, we learn a lot through examples, so it's in my past, it's been so important to have someone, to have chosen mentors, to have someone who could show me the way. I mean, then of course everyone can just translate it into their own reality and personality and way of running a business, for example. But having someone who can lead you is so important.
It's just so much easier, right? Like if there's one thing I would have wanted for my past self to have had, and again, from energy perspective, you shouldn't want that because everything happens in this divine sequence, but that would be the one thing I would go and get a mentor as quick as possible, because they are your guides. The way I like to give the metaphor, it's like you're going to Machu Picchu and you can either go like this and you can go through the bushes and you can find like you'll be struggling to have water on the way and to have snacks on the way, or you can have the guide, you can keep just going up like nice and easy, and maybe there's someone even carrying your bags. And isn't that way nicer? And you will still get to Machu Picchu. It may take a few days, but but it'll be much more fun.
Yeah. Anyway, if you're listening to us, and it's just allowing yourself to feel and then act. Feel and listen to the call and then act. That is the accelerating process mainly. If you listen to your intuition and then just have the courage to follow it, that's it.
Love it. Yeah. So maybe this is a moment for me to plug in a bit more information about the retreat.
Right?
Yeah. That's a good segue to it. So you guys, on the 20th of January, I am in Mexico in a resort that's called Xinalani. Xinalani would be in English easier to pronounce. And I connected with it energy-wise. I had no idea what it was, where it was. I was just like connecting to the map. And at first I was with a fear of someone in Italy. And then I was like, how about if I go really expansive? And I landed here. And then I had my assistant search a few results there. And this was the first one my eyes landed on. I did check the other ones, but it was the moment that I hopped on the call with the people from there. I realized this is the place, because there was no sales pitch happening. The place has, besides being super beautiful, it does have a sweat cave, or sweat lodge is called in English, Temascal. It does have a period of whales happening around the time I decided to go there. It's super weird, like amazing, divine. It's accessible only by water, and there is holistic food, and they support events like I do, because most places either do, like kind of tolerate it, or they have their own. And I decided that I'm going to, in 6 days, take people through a breakthrough path. Usually it's the next level income, but I have people who come there with the next dream relationship, with calm in the day, or combination of the all. And I decided to take only very few people so that I can spend personal time with them and really guide them, how I do with my one-on-one clients, to the next goals and the quantum leap, as I have done with 1,000 people before. And I decided to have this place support my energy, because I actually had one of my clients who have become clairvoyant through working with me going like, Jelly, you need a place that will make it easy for you. I was like, oh yeah, of course, yeah. All the energy, it'll make it easier. And then to make it even stronger, because I like those upgrades, we are starting on the 25th of January, when there is this planetary alignment of 7 planets aligning in front of the sun. And that goes making it even easier to step into the new portal. And that's when it's happening in Xinalani, Mexico. So if you call to this, I still have a couple spots. Otherwise, we do have an online version of that too. And I'm going to be there also a week before if you want to have some really private time with me. I'm opening a couple half a days to see someone in the city of Puerto Vallarta. And don't worry about how you get there, how much it costs, because when your soul calls you to something, you just need to go. It doesn't matter that it takes, 20. My assistant is flying 30 hours to get there. And
you just know.
You just know. Then it doesn't matter, because then when you are entering it with, okay, this is it. It doesn't really matter that there is 3 planes to get there, and it may be a little over your yearly whatever retreat budget, whatever your budget is, maybe spa budget or whatever.
Yeah. So just listen to your call, then act.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And it's so, we all already shared it, but it's the process. I mean, this is how I expanded in such a short time. I really went through from 0 to a multiple 6-figure business in less than 2 years, and but I just followed this process. When I felt the call, it was scary, and I acted every single time.
Yeah, same for me. I invested money I didn't know I had.
Yeah.
I quadrupled my prices in some situations, and I quadrupled as well.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
yeah,
yeah, I really, yeah. And of course, every time it's an upgrade, because you learn something. And I'll share something also about the wrong investments. I had an interesting chat yesterday with a client, and she was sharing about her being not happy with her previous investment on with an agency, a social media agency, and if you are stuck, I mean, considering yourself failing because of your wrong choices, you are not honoring what you learned from them, and you are just stopping yourself from taking other powerful actions. This means that I've been investing 70K in 3 years, which is quite enough in mentoring, but of course, I wasn't satisfied with all of them. But every time I didn't get what I expected, I learned so much more. And this is something that can really free you from also, okay, listen to the call, and every time you learn what you're meant to. And this, I think that this can also, light up the
totally.
weight of the
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, no, it's so liberating, right? It's
Yeah,
like, yeah, it's like your path to Machu Picchu. You will get there. And you
yeah,
may learn, some things on the way if you take the wrong turn before you get the guide, right? You may learn like, oh, these berries I get sick after.
yeah.
Don't want those next time.
And every time you keep on asking yourself, is this the right choice? Of course. I mean, if you feel called, yeah, it
Exactly.
is.
Yeah. It's the same in relationships. Like, yeah, people often go blaming us, like, why was I with that person? They didn't give me what I wanted. Because at that point, you had the resources that were different than now. And that was your best call then. So, from that perspective, that was a divine choice. Because if all of your choices were fun and super efficient, this life wouldn't be fun. It would be
Yeah.
all.
And then, of course, considering the desire of growing, if you only meet someone you love, you don't have the chance of differentiate, to take distance from someone who's not like you. And that's one of the powerful way of growing as well.
Yeah, totally. No, I agree. I think it's super important to appreciate the whole path because this, okay, that should be like growing
Yeah.
scientific, right?
It's always growing. I mean,
Yeah, but this is life, right? This is death. I'm not sure what this is. This is probably you being outside a body.
yeah.
and, and we didn't take body to just do this.
Yeah, I think I mean, unless we get some questions, but I don't see any.
If you guys have a question, you were too shy to ask live with us, feel free.
Yeah.
On YouTube, go to either Jelly Energy on Instagram or what is it, Rosella
Boscolo.
Boscolo
Yeah.
with
Dot IT.
double L, and it's
Yeah.
Boscolo is double L too.
No, just one L.
One
Yeah.
L and dot it.
Yeah.
It is it on,
Yeah.
yeah, which is a really smart handle, by the way. It's your website too, right? And message us. And if you want to get onto the retreat, let's talk. If it's the right place for you or what else.
Yeah.
Can
And
do
of
for you
course,
on your next
yeah,
trip.
we'll be posting and sharing this live on our feeds so they can get, in contact with you. Yeah.
And just
And with us.
that if you do get to talk to me, that it's divine, because I love to respond to people, but I don't get to respond every time, because depending on the flow that's happening, I could have loads of people messaging me and my assistant checking the messages. So yeah, do message, and may you be sure that in the divine timing we'll talk, and I'll make my best to talk
Yeah.
to you and do my best.
Yeah. It was great. It was a pleasure
Amazing. So
to
heart
meet you.
opening. Yeah, Rossella, thank you so much. When you relax, like I was coming into the live because it's a few days before I'm flying, as I'm going there earlier. Yeah, that everything is a bit more intense, and the lives are not exactly, it's not my comfort zone, but it's not my comfortest zone. And yeah, your energy has made me, oh.
My contribution, I'm happy.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. So,
Thank you guys. Yeah, let's
yeah,
go.
thank you and have a great evening or, yeah, morning, afternoon, I don't know.
Wherever you are,
Depending on where
guys.
you are. Yeah.
Yeah, we are in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 p.m. for us. Okay. Love you,
Okay.
Rossella.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love
we'll
you
talk
too.
soon.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys. See you soon at the retreat, hopefully.
Yeah, bye.